As you all know, Sri Hansraj Ahir has been doggedly pursuing matters related to the coal allocation, coal block allocation scandal. He's coming up with more and more documentary evidence to show that the government can certainly cancel all the 142 allocations made, even with the existing provisions in law, and that they are not doing it and they are doing it in a selective basis. The issues that I wanted to raise today, the first one pertains to Sri Veerabhadra Singh. Today, as you're all aware, through a media house, information is coming about Sri Veerabhadra Singh during his tenure as Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh in the years between 2003 and 2006. His relatives have allegedly been buying land which falls foul of the Tenancy and Land Reforms Bill of Act of Himachal Pradesh, where even if you are a Himachali native, if you are a non-agriculturist, to buy land and to give it away to builders is not permitted. And there are very many more details of that law against which the relatives of Sri Veerabhadra Singh have been working during his time as Chief Minister during 2003 and 2006. Through the expose which has come from the media, it's also very clear that there were income tax evasions too. So both under the Income Tax Act and also the Land and Tenancy and Land Reforms Act of Himachal Pradesh, Sri Veerabhadra Singh has a lot of things to answer. We already know there is a prosecution going on about setting up cement and distillery factories in Himachal Pradesh, probably in Solan. There is a prosecution going on in the court that relates to his chief ministership during the period commencing 1989. Now this, which has come up today, it relates to his tenure as chief minister during 2003 and 2006. Of course, he was the chief minister 5 times over, if I remember correct, of Himachal Pradesh. We already know during his tenure as the Union Iron and Steel Minister, that Ispat scandal has come out, where we have not heard any explanations coming from Sri Veerabhadra Singh. It's almost like a serial offender. The BJP demands that on this latest, is it called Kausali Ghotala, the latest land-related, his relatives buying land and selling it off to builders, particularly land which is probably even agriculture and from forest areas. That's the latest expose which the media houses come up with. So you have one which is going on in the court pertaining to 1989 when he was the chief minister. There's another which has come out, the Ispat scandal, which you know relates to his term as Union Iron and Steel Minister. And now the latest expose which comes through a media house relates to his earlier term of 2003-2006. So we demand from the BJP that on the latest expose which has come out of the media about his relatives buying land belonging to agriculture and forest department areas, lands which have been acquired, even if by Himachalis or together with builders from outside Himachal Pradesh, being converted to become multi-storied apartments or any other complex, which is essentially a non-agricultural use. There is this new scandal. On that, the BJP demands a comprehensive inquiry and would highlight to the public that here is somebody who is one after the other getting in a situation where he is expected to answer on corruption-related charges. While Srimati Sonia Gandhi is giving speeches in Burari, in Mangalore, in Rajkot, or even in Haryana, that her party is committed to fighting corruption. you have somebody who's gone into a state where there is elections happening, being accused one after the other of corruption-related matters. Can Srimati Sonia Gandhi tell us what role she envisages for Sri Veerbhadra Singh in Himachal Pradesh during the campaign and after the campaign? And therefore, if the commitment of the Congress party is to fight corruption, this is no exemplary way of doing it. The BJP demands that the latest expose which has come out of the media be inquired into in a very comprehensive way. The other issue relates to JPC. As you all know, the BJP has been demanding the Prime Minister and the then Finance Minister, who happens to be the Finance Minister now, to appear before the JPC. Otherwise, the truth related to this massive scandal, which has resulted in huge loss to the exchequer, will never see the truth. The truth won't come out. And today, to prove the BJP's insistence on having the Finance Minister and the Prime Minister has been proved right. Yesterday, the former Cabinet Secretary, Shri K.M. Chandrasekhar, has appeared before the JPC. And 2 points are very important about his appearance. The first is that he has appeared before the JPC to say that he had indeed written a letter in December 2007 suggesting that the entry fee could have gone up to 36,000 crores for a pan-India license. What was actually the price at which Sri Raja and the Finance Minister and Dr. Manmohan Singh gave away the 2G, which got cancelled by the Supreme Court later on? What was the price? It was 1,651 crore rupees, which was the price decided in 2001. All the while, the BJP has been demanding what justification was there to use the 2001 price in 2008. And today, with this revelation coming from no less a person than the Cabinet Secretary himself of then time, our stand that there was a lot of change which has happened between end 2007 and early 2008 when it was given away stands absolutely vindicated. The Finance Secretary also, if you remember, the Finance Secretary's note, which was written in 2007, November, December, to the then Finance Minister, suggested auction should be a route. And in 2008, and then importantly, the Finance Minister then, Shri P. Chidambaram, had concurred with that view. But come early 2008, after the allocations were made, much before the letter of understanding was intent LOIs were given to the company, Shri Chidambaram changed his position, saying let bygones be bygones. From future we'll take care of auction, but let the 2G allocations continue. Which means between December 2007, even as said by the Cabinet Secretary, lot of changes have happened in the government's thinking about 2G spectrum allocation. Mr. Chandrasekhar also seems to have said that if it is legally possible, please go for auction. He seems to have said that. And the third and the most important point about his presentation, one, that he had suggested a higher entry fee, much higher entry fee. Second, that he had also suggested where it was legally possible, it should go for auction. And the third and most important point, he didn't write it suo moto. He didn't write it on his own. He wrote it in response to the Prime Minister inquiring on the financial implications of what happens if the prices are fixed in a particular way or in a different way. So the Prime Minister has actually approached him with an intention of knowing what price should prevail, which method should be adopted so that Government of India's treasury gets its best. And in spite of that, I am unfortunately going to have to say this, the Prime Minister agreed to giving it on a first come, first served basis at 1,651 and brought a very big disastrous loss to the government of India. These are issues which are very clearly coming from high officials of the bureaucracy. But then, who's going to answer if what these people are saying is right? Or who's going to say, no, Mr. Chandrasekhar was wrong, our decision was justified? Who's going to give the answer for it? If the Prime Minister and if the Finance Minister do not appear in the JPC, who's going to give the answer? The BJP fought to get the JPC because repeatedly we were told the criminality of whatever has happened will be going through the court processes. But if the policy itself was wrong, or if there's a tweaking in the policy, or if the checks and balances were removed in the decision making, unless the JPC goes through its entire process in a free and fair manner, you're not going to get to know what happened actually in the decision making. And that's why the JPC was important. And today with Mr. Chandrasekhar's revelation, no person lesser than the Prime Minister or Finance Minister can say whether Mr. Chandrasekhar is saying the truth and can say why they went ahead with fixing the price in the 2001 rate. So I appeal to the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister that they present their case before the JPC, which is an appropriate body to look into this. And finally, I did refer to Srimati Sonia Gandhi's speech in Mangalore. A lot has been said about corruption, fighting corruption, getting angry. BJP is promoting corruption and listing as though the Indian citizens do not know where BJP is in the ruling. She has not looked at her neighbor, Andhra Pradesh, where her government is going on. Supreme Court has given notices to her ministers there on corruption-related charges. 6 of them who are in the cabinet have received notices. I can only summarize her speech as completely lacking substance. And because it is lacking in substance, she was trying to make up with extra aggression. I think this country's citizens, people of this country, are looking forward to a constructive engagement with the government of today on corruption-related matters. So let us take answers from Srimati Sonia Gandhi rather than throwing bitter allegations against people who are questioning them on corruption. Thank you.